The Capital One SavorOne credit card, arguably one of the best no annual fee cashback credit cards on the market today, versus the American Express Gold Card, famously dubbed the foodie credit card and one of the best cards you can get from American Express. In this video, we'll be taking a deep dive into everything that both of these credit cards can offer you, from ways to earn options, to benefits, to additional benefits. We'll be covering them all. Then at the end, I'll be giving my own personal opinions and recommendations on who would probably benefit from each card the most. First up, ways to earn. This is the bread and butter for all credit cards. Have crappy ways to earn categories? Well, that credit card will never be talked about. Luckily for you, both the Capital One SavorOne credit card and American Express Gold Card have some of the best ways to earn categories and earnings potential possible. Let's talk about the SavorOne credit card first. First, I want to preface and mention that there are 4 different versions of this orange tinted credit card. You have the SavorOne credit card, which we'll be talking about today, the SavorRewards, which has some upgraded ways to earn options but comes with a $95 annual fee, the SavorOne Rewards for good credit, which is identical to the SavorOne, and the SavorOne for students, which is also identical to the SavorOne. So for the SavorOne credit card, its ways to earn categories are as follows: 3% on restaurants, 3% on grocery stores, 3% on entertainment, and 3% on popular streaming services. That's the core. Additionally, it also comes with 8% cash back on Capital One entertainment purchases, which means things like tickets for NBA basketball games or for a concert or a show. Additionally, you can also get 5% cash back on hotels and rental car purchases through Capital One's own travel portal. And then finally, there's 10% cash back on purchases on Uber and Uber Eats through November 14th, 2024. The SavorOne credit card definitely packs a lot into one single credit card, and that's why when most credit card issuers have a credit card trifecta, Capital One actually has one less card and is called the Capital One Bifecta or Capital One Duo. Plus, I'd like to mention that the cash back that you earn on the SavorOne credit card can be transferred into Capital One Miles or Capital One's transfer currency, which further enhances the possibilities of this duo. Moving over to the American Express Gold Card, the ways to earn categories are as follows. First, you have the 4x back on restaurants worldwide, which include takeout and delivery for the US. You also get 4x back on groceries at US supermarkets on up to $25,000 in purchases per year. And then you also get 3x back on flights booked directly with airlines or through American Express's own travel portal. Putting them side by side, you can definitely argue that there's a clear winner, especially when you're comparing the abundance of ways to earn categories. But I'd argue that the Gold Card earns slightly more in the dining and grocery store categories, which are categories that you're more likely to spend your money on. I mean, the additional categories on the SavorOne, like the entertainment and the popular streaming services, are great ways to earn categories to have, but let me ask you a question. How much do you spend on these categories each month? Not that much, right? But on the other side, if you notice the smaller text below the 4x multiplier category for grocery store purchases for the American Express Gold Card, you'll notice that it is restricted to only US supermarkets. When you compare that to the SavorOne, which earns unlimited 3x cashback at groceries and restaurants, and also codes for 3x on groceries and restaurants worldwide, one can argue that the SavorOne credit card in terms of ways to earn options are better. Still, when comparing all of the benefits that both of these credit cards offer you, one thing you have to consider is the annual fee or the lack thereof. For the SavorOne credit card, it is a no annual fee cashback credit card, and for the American Express Gold Card, it has a $250 annual fee. Alright, let's move on. Moving on, let's talk about the benefits and potential statement credits that both of these credit cards offer. For the SavorOne credit card, the only benefit that I can tell is its Uber One membership that lasts until November 14th, 2024, which means unlimited $0 delivery fee on eligible food, groceries, and other benefits on Uber Eats, up to 10% off eligible orders with Uber Eats, up to 5% off eligible rides with Uber, and then also additional member-only perks and promotions. For the Gold Card, the 2 benefits that are statement credits are as follows. First, it's a $120 dining credit that is split up as $10 monthly statement credits when you pay with your American Express Gold Card at Grubhub, The Cheesecake Factory, Goldbelly, Wine.com, Milk, or Shake Shack. The other benefit is a $120 Uber cash credit that is also split up as $10 monthly statement credits that can then be used on either Uber rides or Uber Eats purchases. Now remember, we are comparing a $250 annual fee credit card to a no annual fee credit card. On one end, it's great that the SavorOne credit card, even though it has a no annual fee, still offers additional benefits that might be beneficial to its cardholders. On the other side, it's also great to see a $250 annual fee card offered two $120 statement credits that would effectively make the annual fee get reduced down to $10 every single year. However, there's also the argument to be made that you're not someone who would frequently use Uber for rides or Uber Eats, and the argument that since Uber charges service fees and other types of fees in order for restaurants to use their network, the food that restaurants sell on Uber is generally priced to be roughly 15% to 25% more expensive, which would ultimately not help you save any money, especially if you're not someone who was already using Uber in the first place. Same goes for the two statement credits on the Gold card, which are restricted to 6 different places only. And the fact that you might not have access to these 6 particular restrictions, and if that's the case, then these would render these restrictions worthless. Plus, incrementing it at $10 statement credits monthly makes it extremely forgettable, and sometimes you're probably going to not use those benefits. And before I give my final opinions about the two credit cards, let's wrap up this video and talk about the additional benefits and protection perks that both of these credit cards offer you. First, for the SavorOne credit card, it goes as follows: no foreign transaction fees, extended warranty protection, and travel accident insurance. For the Gold card, it goes as follows: no foreign transaction fees, access to the hotel collection, baggage insurance plan, which covers up to $500 for checked bag and $1,250 for carry-on luggage, and car rental loss and damage insurance, which, remember, for the Gold card, it is secondary and not primary insurance. Comparing the two cards and additional benefits and protection perks that both of these cards provide, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that there's a lot when there isn't. There's not really that much to talk about here. Alright, so before we wrap up this video and I give my final opinions on both of these credit cards, I just wanted to take a few screenshots of all of the cards and group them up by waste earned categories, benefits, and additional benefits. At this point, feel free to pause the video to do your own comparisons and your own research, and once you're ready, let's wrap up this video and talk about my final opinions. Alright, so for the SavorOne credit card, let's first talk about the positives. It's a no annual fee credit card. Nothing gets better than that. The fact that you can keep this card forever without having to worry about an annual fee that you have to pay each year is always going to be a positive thing. Plus, it'll always aid your age of credit category within your credit score report, which will always be a positive thing as well. Having 8 different waste earned categories that range from food to travel to Uber is always going to be a positive thing. Especially for those of you out there that want to keep a low amount of credit cards, the SavorOne credit card can definitely become a one credit card setup. Additionally, having all of these categories be limitless is always going to be a positive thing too. Not having to worry about a spending cap every single month is always going to be a plus, as well as having categories such as restaurants and groceries still consistently code for those categories outside of the United States. And finally, the Uber partnership that guarantees at least 1.5 years of 10% back on Uber purchases and a free Uber One membership. Definitely a positive thing, even if you're someone who rarely uses Uber. Tons of credit card issuers have partnerships with ride-sharing apps, so it's great to see that Capital One is stepping up in recent years. Alright, now for the not so positive things about the SavorOne credit card. First, again, the 8 ways earned categories is a double-edged sword. As much as it is a positive thing to basically guarantee a one credit card setup, for those of us out there that like having multiple credit cards, having to remember all of these categories can definitely be a headache. Plus, if you do have a multi-card setup, a lot of these categories won't be used. Additionally, with so many categories, it sucks that the SavorOne credit card doesn't really come with that many protection perks. You have no foreign transaction fees, extended warranty protection, and then travel accident insurance, which, don't get me wrong, are great, but really not enough. If this card is a one card setup for you or your go-to credit card when you go and pay for anything, just keep in mind that things you're buying won't be protected by much. Additionally, if you want to go into the credit card points game, you'll need a travel credit card in order to supplement it, because on its own, the SavorOne credit card is only ever going to be a cashback credit card. Moving over to the American Express Gold Card, let's start with the positives. It's got a strong ways to earn foundation with dining, restaurants, and flights. 4x back on dining and groceries, and I believe that these numbers are leading within the credit card world. Additionally, the restaurant category is marked for worldwide, so you never have to worry when traveling outside of the US. The Gold Card also comes with two $120 statement credits, which effectively reduce the $250 annual fee into adjusted $10 annual fee. Definitely something to consider, especially if you frequent the places that I mentioned earlier. It also gives you access to American Express's transfer partner list, which gives you way more options and value when redeeming your membership reward points, as well as the Amex Gold Card being a points-back credit card instead of a cashback card. Additionally, if you didn't know, the American Express Gold Card is a charge card, which differs from a traditional credit card. A charge card typically doesn't have a spending limit, but you aren't allowed to carry a balance between months, while a traditional credit card typically has a spending limit but allows you to carry a balance month to month. Alright, let's talk about some of the negative things that I've noticed with the American Express Gold Card. First, it's ways to earn categories. Yes, it's great, it earns 4x back at restaurants and grocery stores, but both have asterisks right next to them. For the groceries, the 4x multiplier only works at US supermarkets, which is a negative thing when you travel outside of the US. Additionally, there's a $25,000 spending cap each year. For restaurants, while it does say worldwide, the takeout and delivery portions are restricted for only within the US. Additionally, the credits are definitely hard to use. They come in $10 increments that are given monthly like allowances and are restricted to 6 specific places. Alright, that just about wraps up this video. Whether or not you go for the Capital One SavorOne credit card or the American Express Gold Card, both of these credit cards are some of the best credit cards that the credit card market has to offer. Both of these cards definitely have their appeal, and you definitely can't go wrong with either option. Thank you for watching. As always, stay safe out there, everyone. Peace. Those of you out there that are new to the channel, hi, my name is Eric. I generally talk about everything credit card related, but more recently I've been making videos on broader financial topics, such as these videos right here. The main goal for this channel is to provide informational and meaningful financial related content that everybody everywhere can enjoy. So again, if you'd like to support that dream, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And with that, thank you for watching as always. Until next time, everybody, stay safe out there. Peace.